So over the past 2 months, my comments in both my lives, my videos, and my community posts have been flooded with one brand, that is Terence Hughes. And with that said, one of my subscribers, or my moderators, Newt, shout out to Newt, decided that he was going to send me all of the freshies that he had from Terence Hughes line, as well as down the road when we get closer to fall, he's going to send me their fall and winter fragrances. So today I'm going to be reviewing one that is a brand new release from what I'm understanding as of like a few weeks ago by Terence Hughes, and it's still really hard to pick up. This one is called Supernova. So again, thanks to Newt, but that's what we're going to be reviewing, my first impressions today. So without further ado, let's get it. Welcome back, my great smelling dudes, to my channel. My name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud, back with another fragrance video, and one that I think that a lot of you guys have been waiting on. Again, it's a new release that came out, and I know that a lot of you, I'd say over the past week, at least 50 people have commented they've either worn this as their scent of the day, or they wanted me to try it, or what I thought about it. And again, this is by Terence Hughes. Today we're going to be talking about Supernova. Again, another shout out to Newt. My moderator sent me a bunch of fragrances. I think I have 9 or 10 different freshies that I'm going to be talking about, both on my lives and on my channel, from Maverick to raw cherry, stuff like that, that I'll be reviewing. And then when the fall comes, I'll be doing the fall and winter style scents. But I know nothing about this. Before we get into it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And then yeah, I know nothing about this. I don't know what it smells like. I don't know anything. I just got this in the mail about probably 30 minutes ago, and I was texting him about Maverick because it's the only one that I have tried. And then I found out that this one is a brand new release, so I figured I would do a first impression. So I am going to spray it on my hand here. And as you guys know, in my first impressions, I don't do the notes. I try to get a feel for the fragrance, and then I'll do my full review in a few weeks. I normally only do that with designer fragrances, but this one felt the need for it because I didn't really have any content planned, because I have a lot of fragrances that are on the way but not at my house. So the reason I kind of paused there and went is this is very clone-ish. It's not exact, but kind of disappointed. Not in the smell, it does smell good. It is a Creed Aventus clone, or a Creed Aventus smell alike. There's definitely different facets in here, but you can smell immediately in the opening bergamot, grapefruit, pineapple. Maybe a little bit of ambergris musk in there, but I mean, it's literally right off the bat, you know, I mean, if there's oak moss or anything like that in the dry down, or that ambergris picks up, or if you get any kind of birchiness, and then it's going to get closer to either Aventus or Hacivat. But right now, in the opening, Supernova is really nice. I honestly think that at this point in time, just in the first like 30 seconds, I prefer it to the original Creed Aventus. As you guys know, I prefer Aventus Cologne over the Aventus. I don't really like Hacivat. In that style of fragrance, I like Elysium and Cedrat Boisé, which do their own thing, one going the sweeter route and one going the more citrusy route. But here in the opening, it is a bergamot balm with some pineapple, a little bit of this earthiness that has a woody touch to it from the ambergris. You're definitely getting a little bit of that in there. There's some grapefruit, maybe a little bit of there's a little fruitiness maybe to it. But yeah, so I smelled Maverick already, and there's this slight chemically vibe in the opening of that. I'm not going to give too much away from what I get from Maverick. As it dries down, the fragrance completely does something different, but I noticed in the opening of it, there's this slight chemical vibe. And this one has the same thing, so I wonder if that's just an Terence Hughes thing, that they do this chemically vibe. It's a kind of like a harsh chemical that you get in like Armaf or something, but this one feels almost like a ISO Super or something that is just a in-your-face kind of chemical vibe that is more high quality than the harshness you get with Armaf. I mean, this is good. There's just this slight chemical vibe in the background. And Maverick, that dissipated pretty quickly. I'd say like 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do here, again, this fragrance so far, it smells very Aventus-y. I like the smell of it. It's just, would I pick it up at this point in time? No, because I have so many damn fragrances that smell like that. And so even if this one ends up being the best of all of those types, I don't think I would want to pick it up because I'm kind of sick of that DNA, to be honest with you, which is why I like Aventus Cologne more. And Satrap Posay and Hacivat and Elysium, because they do something different with that style. But I mean, this smells really nice. I gotta say, it smells nice for a new release. It's definitely good. It's just I see what he's doing. It's obvious. He wanted to go with that mass appealing niche quality DNA that is Aventus. With that said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if that chemical vibe goes away like I get. And so I'm going to put you guys on hold for like 25 minutes. And I'm going to get to the dry down and see what I get from it. So without further ado, I'll be right back. So we are back to wrap up the finale or the dry down of Terence Hughes SUPERNOVA that I was sent to by Newt. This is a brand new release that right now is upon restock and is hard to find. It comes in 10 milliliters and 50 milliliters. 50 milliliters is $126, which is the main reason I haven't at this point picked up any Terence Hughes, because I didn't know anything about the fragrances. I wasn't a big fan of him as a reviewer, and so I didn't go out and buy the fragrances personally because of the fact that I just didn't want to pay $126 for a fragrance I knew nothing about. That also is a 50 milliliter. So if you're looking at 100 milliliter, which is like Elysium, which I got for 176 bucks, this is $254 for 100 milliliters if you're thinking about it that way. And so I think that's a little bit absurd. So anyway, as we got to the dry down of this, this is an extrait de parfum, just an FYI. The opening is almost to me like a Creed Aventus that has a little bit more of a leaning on the bergamot instead of the pineapple. And then you also do get a little bit of a backbone of musk and ambergris. It's nice. It has a little slight chemically undertone that in Maverick, that chemically undertone is much more prominent and it stays there for about 30 or 40 minutes. In this one, it dissipated after about 5 minutes. And then as soon as we got into the dry down, after about 10 to 15 minutes, it started to become more of a better blended Hacivat, which I don't really like Hacivat's dry down. I really like the opening to it, but the dry down, the oak moss comes in and gives it this almost cigarette ashtray style smokiness that I don't really dig. My wife doesn't really like it. But with this one, when you get to the dry down, as that pineapple citrusy mixture dissipates, you get some ambergris growing up. You get a little bit of a muskiness that's undertoning it still, and some woods. And then you get this oak moss over top of the whole thing that is not necessarily... it's a better smelling version, higher quality version of the oak moss that you get in Hacivat, just not as smoky and doesn't have that ashtray vibe. I think that overall this fragrance crushed what it was trying to do, which was a mass appealing version, almost designer-esque version of what Creed Aventus brings and what Hacivat brings, but kind of trying to do its own thing. But to me, it didn't really do much of its own thing. It smells like a clone I've smelled before, I think by Offnon. I think it's Supremacy Not Only Intense. I could be thinking about something different, but I'm pretty sure it's that, where it has that Hacivat and so it has the Hacivat and the Creed Aventus mixture, and it blends it very nicely to the point where I almost like that more than the two. And with this one, it's kind of the same. This one is the strongest. It's very similar to the Offnon, where it is pushing off a lot more. So in the opening, again, you get that strong bergamot, which is a little bit heavier of a bergamot than when you get an Aventus, and then you get that pineapple with some musk and some ambergris undertoning it. It's really nice, and then you get some grapefruit, just slight bit of grapefruit in there, giving it a citrusy undertone. Really nice Aventus style fragrance, clone-ish. And then as you get to the dry down, again, you get more of a mossy nuance mixed with that woods, musk, ambergris. And then you get a little undertoning version of what's in the opening, that citrus and pineapple, just really low down at that point in time. Overall, I would still say this fragrance, of all the ones that I mentioned, is probably one of the best. So if you don't own Aventus or Hacivat or anything like that, then this would be something that I would say invest your money in, because it is really nice. It seems like it's pushing out very nicely. But if you own any of the other ones, I don't think it's necessary, because to me, that style of DNA is now boring me. I honestly, I don't talk about them very much on my channel anymore, because I don't really care about the Aventus style DNA anymore. I prefer Aventus Cologne. I prefer the ones that do it, but do it a completely different way, like the sweetness in Cedrat and the citrusiness in Elysium. So I honestly am not 100% thrilled with any of these style of DNA. So that's, but me being unbiased and not putting my personal feelings into it, this fragrance would be definitely about an 8. I would say an 8 out of 10. It definitely is knocking it out of the park. If they took away that 5 to 10 minutes of that chemically undertone, I think it would probably be an 8.5 or so. But overall, the fragrance is really nice. Would I recommend it picking up? I would recommend you getting the 10 milliliter first to see if it's something that you would want to pick up, but it is very clone-ish. I'm going to maintain that. It's a very clone-ish fragrance. It smells like other things that are out there very, very, very similarly. But, well, with like a 5 to 10% twist. But let me know what you guys think about it. I'm really surprised so far, because the two that I've tried by Terence Hughes were not really anything that I was thinking I was going to get. My favorite fragrance note in the fragrance community is plum, and I tried a plum fragrance from them that people were talking about like so much, and it's really not that great. And so I think there might be like a little bit of a love from some of these people for Terence Hughes as a reviewer, just trying to appreciate the sense that he has. Maybe he had a really good one in the beginning. I haven't tried all of them yet, but as of right now, I would say there is a little bit of a mediocrity to the Terence Hughes 2 fragrances that I've tried so far. This isn't blowing me away. Again, with personal feelings into it, I wouldn't pick this fragrance up, because I don't want to wear that style of DNA. But if you have that love for the CDNIMs, the Aventus, the clones, all that stuff, then you would like this. But is it worth 126 bucks for a 50 mil? You make that decision. If you like that style of DNA, then go for it. But again, I'll be back with another video and a full review on that in about 2 weeks. I doubt my mind will change, but just so we have the notes so I can figure it out. It's very easy to explain. But thank you guys so much. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another one. Peace out.